What's on, ladies and gentlemen? My name's Ross, I like games, and today we need to have a look at a bunch of new Transformers TCG battle cards. They are coming out in Wave 2, Rise of the Combiners, and we're looking at a trio of cards today, because now that the entire set has been revealed by the lovely folks over on the official Facebook group, the lovely folks at Wizards of the Coast, we can now actually look and go, okay, let's throw them all in together. I like looking at cards individually when they come out nice and slowly, but frankly, I want to show you all of these cards, and when we've got lots of them, it's kind of hard to talk about some of them separately when they're so themed together, and we have 3 of those today. We have Bashing Shield, Enforcement Batons, and Vaporize. So let's start off with Enforcement Batons, or Batons if you prefer. We've got an orange and a green icon. Orange is nice because it gives you 1 extra attack if you flip it while attacking. And the green icon is nice because if you flip this while attacking or defending, at the end of the battle you may choose to scrap a card from your hand and pick this one up instead, which is nice. You get +1 attack and it's a weapon. So look, orange icon, weapon, +1 attack. This is clearly an attacking card. And it reads, when you put this on a character, scrap an enemy weapon. This is nice. Gets rid of one of your opponent's weapons. Means that you can take down something like a grenade launcher before your opponent's had a chance to use it. Now there is an argument that your opponent should potentially attach grenade launcher and then immediately attack to stop that happening, but you can still get rid of any weapon that they might have. One of the really good uses I like for this is the newly revealed Superior Cannon. Because you see, Superior Cannon gives you Bold 4, which is frankly nuts. And the reason it gives you Bold 4, despite that being nuts, is that you can only play it if you've already played a tech research this turn. So it basically says, look, you can have this great card, but lordy, you've got to work for it. And here you're just like, remember all that work you put in to get Superior Cannon out? Gutted. Now it's gone. I like it. It's an attacking card, it gets rid of a weapon. I am all in favour. Now, you've probably guessed at this stage what the other ones do, but let's go through them anyway. Bashing Shield. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. It's got an orange icon and a green icon, just like we saw before. It is an armor that gives you +1 defense, and when you put it on a character, you scrap an enemy armor. So we've got the one that lets you scrap weapons, now we got the one that lets you scrap armor. I like that it's an armor that lets you scrap armor, almost like a petulant, I've got an armor but you can't have one. I like that it's an armor that gives you +1 defense. I don't like the orange icon here. But because the one that was a weapon gave you an orange icon and +1 attack, full attacking card, whereas Bashing Shield here gives you an orange icon and +1 defense. Well, a blue icon would be way better for this. Sorry, I feel quite strongly. Maybe that would make it too good. But if we want to go full defensive and armor card, we really would want the blue icon. Having said that, if you're in an attacking deck and you want to get rid of a whole bunch of armor, this is going to be great. Because, and you know I'm going to mention it at this stage, Force Field. Force Field, for people that are going heavy on it in decks, can be one of the most impactful cards. It guarantees you only take 4 damage from an attack. So if you've got a big attack ready to go, and you're against a character with a Force Field, doesn't matter how big your attack is, you're only doing 4 damage. If, however, you can drop this card, wonderful. Because now all of a sudden, they don't have a force field and you can go nuts. And of course, as we're mentioning the tech research cards, I do have to mention Superior Plating here, because that gives you Tough 4, but can only be played after a tech research. So again, it's kind of hilarious here that you can get rid of that, and they've gone to a lot of effort to use it. What I will say is Jetfire can actually attach Superior Plating from the discard, or from the scrap pile as it's called in Transformers. And so actually, it's not a terrible thing if you scrap it, because when Jetfire flicks into bot mode, they can get it right back. And we can say the same thing here about tanks and Hunker Down. They can all flip into tank mode when you play Hunker Down, and when they do that, they can grab an upgrade from the scrap pile, an armor, and attach it. So actually, this is not quite as good getting rid of a superior plating as it was when we got rid of superior cannon, because there are cards that can get it back. So I've shown you 2 out of 3. I'm willing to bet at this stage you can probably guess what Vaporize looks like and what it does. You would be wrong. You're probably expecting it to have an orange and a green icon like the other 2. It doesn't. It's got a blue icon. And you're probably expecting that when you attach it, you get to scrap an upgrade or a utility upgrade. And it would be a utility itself. But no! Scrap an enemy upgrade. Blue icon, scrap an enemy upgrade. And at this stage, Vaporize might be sounding fairly familiar, and it should. It's ramming speed. It's ramming speed of a blue icon. Ramming speed is literally exactly the same, scrap an enemy upgrade, but with an orange icon rather than a blue. So this is one of those cards that frankly we needed. We needed this card. Because if you're playing an attacking deck, ramming speed's great. If you're playing a defensive deck and you wanted to get rid of upgrades in Wave 1 gutted, ramming speed's your choice. Not so in Wave 2. Now you can play Vaporize and you've got a blue icon. And to be honest, we need to go back here to both Bashing Shield and Enforcement Batons, whatever you want to say, and go, hang on a second, why would we play these when we've got ramming speed? And they've both got an orange icon, so it is really ramming speed we're comparing to rather than Vaporize with its blue icon. And the answer is extremely simple. The green icon. You see, if you've not got a green icon on your card, then either you draw it for your turn and you get to play it, or you flip it while attacking or defending and you don't get to play it. Well, you draw 1 card during your turn, and then you flip 2 cards while attacking, and your opponent makes you flip 2 cards while defending, and that's if you're not playing bold or tough. You are way more likely to flip any card you're playing and get the battle icons than you are to actually get it in your hand and use it, which is where the green icon comes in. Now, it's a bit annoying because you don't just get to scrap an upgrade. Bashing Shield scraps an armor, Enforcement Batons scraps a weapon. You don't have one that scraps a utility, although maybe in Wave 3 I could see that coming. Very much so. But the fact of the matter is, the green icon makes them viable, makes them playable, makes me want to use them, especially to get rid of a force field, because I know I'm going to be able to find that card more easily than something like a ramming speed. And that could make the difference between a win and a loss. Incidentally, we did get Smelt in this set as well, whereby your opponent scraps an upgrade of their choosing. It's not quite as good. And we did get the card which I was lucky enough to reveal, Vandalize. Scrap all enemy weapons, armors, or utilities. Yowza. The thing is, it's really good if your opponent's got lots of weapons or lots of armor or lots of utilities. I refer to it as a sideboard card. I don't think it's particularly great because you can play it and your opponent is playing a mixture of all 3 of those, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh, brilliant. Now it's not actually going to do me much good. So back to these cards. Are they good? I mean, look. If we take Vaporize, yeah, it's ramming speed of a blue icon. So if you're playing a deck and you want more blue icons, this is great. And it literally is. Now, if you want to play a card with scraps upgrades, you can choose which icon you have. For that, it's literally perfect. As for Bashing Shield and Enforcement Baton, I mean, look, they give you +1 attack or +1 defense. And they got green icons so you can find them, and they get rid of weapons or armor. They're not quite so adaptable as Ramming Speed and Vaporize. They don't give you quite the same number of options, but they're easier to find. And let's face it, if you're worried about weapons, you can play one. If you're worried about armor, you can play the other. Bear in mind, they've got the green icon. You can literally play one of each. And at some point, you'll end up finding it. and then you can stash it in your hand till you use it. So that's not too bad. I like these cards. I like that we're expanding our options for scrapping utilities. But I'd like to know what you think. So please do let me know in the comment section. Go nuts, but please do remember to be nice. And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, and follow me on Twitter at the Wossy, where we talk about all kind of games. But by far the most important thing, as always, look after yourselves till next time. Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching Wossy Plays.